on, come on. Flat down the straight, flat out. Come on, understeer it into there. Oh, nice tight line. Can't catch him up. Mine stopped. So it's broken. Yeah, we've broken it. Look, we stripped the motor down. The rotor has exploded. Look at that. Knackered. Oh well. What we're going to do, we did look to see if we could find a replacement one of these, but in the UK, very difficult or stupidly expensive. So what have we gone with? We've got a Max 5 combo. Max 5 ESC, and we went for the 800 kV motor, and look at the size of it. We've already got it out of this box. Now this is the original motor. Okay, I've took the rotor out, but look at the difference in size. They are just so much bigger. It's just so much bigger. So we're going to have different motor mount, which we've got there. Different gears. Look, that's the new Pinion. That's the old Pinion. Well, I think this is going to start to cause some more problems on the truck. So we have also got some drive cup strengtheners. It stops the drive cup splitting. We'll do a separate video on fitting them. But what we're going to do now is we're going to start to see how all this is going to go in the truck. Really not sure. We've got all different pinions, spurs. We've got some adapters to put on it because these are all a little bit different. But let's have a look. Watch on. See how we get on. So we removed all these bits. So we've got better access to the speedo where the motor goes. This, we ain't going to use this. It won't fit the new motor. Similarly, we ain't going to put fans on it just to start. We just want to get the motor up and running and see how it goes. Speedo can now come out. I've already undone the 2 screws there. We'll also remove these pins because we're not going to need them. And we will remove, because obviously you can see we have our servo upgrade on this. We've got the 1/5 scale servo on that. We do these little plates which strengthens it up and enables you can fit the 1/5 servo in. So we just removed the receiver box which goes on there, so we've pretty much got a clean sweep of the radio gear. So I'm not going to show you everything that I do. I'll just sort of give you updates as and when we go there. So I'm going to get the motor mount in and see how that goes, because that is a fixed point. We can't move that, and then we'll see where we're going to put the speedo. Wow, look at the size of that. Compare that to our original. That is, well, it's a lot bigger. I mean, it is almost Coke can size. So we've held this in. This comes with little nuts and bolts. It's got little shake-proof washers on them. Nylock nuts. I don't even need to thread lock that on. I've only just got one bolt holding the motor in just to see how it's going to go in. We've obviously now got to put this spur gear, I mean, it weighs an absolute bloody ton, on instead of this, so we can get it to mesh correctly. So I'm going to take this out, see how this goes on. Don't really know how it's going to go on. We'll find out in a minute. There is this spacer that comes with the kit. Don't know what that is. Well, so I'm going to take this off. We'll have a look and see if it's a straightforward fit or not. So these 4 bolts off. Right guys, so we've took the standard, well, we've actually got the hardened one on this spur gear assembly off, and the cush drive, I think it is, whatever you call it. Don't see the point in that. And with this kit you get this sleeve which goes over here, and you can see you've got a shortened pin there, which then gets encapsulated by the new spur gear, and you've got a double-sided slots or double-sided flats there for this spur gear to then go onto. So basically this is our new spur, and it goes on like that, and we then tighten up those grub screws onto those flats, and then I've got it the wrong way around, haven't I? It needs to go on the other way, that way, like that. Who noticed a deliberate mistake? Wrong way round. That needs to be on there. Now that's the right way round. Now let's see if this will go in the truck. It should do. Well, hopefully anyway. Otherwise we're in trouble. There we go. It's in there nice and well. Got clearance on there. Yeah, we actually have, haven't we? So that looks good. Now, where's our pinion? Here we go. This is the right one way around this time. So we'll put our pinion on there. We'll try to put our pinion on there anyway. Oh, there we go. See? I mean, okay, I know everything's not fitted in, but I'm now confident I'm going to Loctite this up, or thread lock the grub screws on there. I'll just re-grease those gears in there, and then I think, yeah, I'm happy with that. That looks good. So I've just took this back out to actually screw this motor in properly. Now, I didn't like the idea of just having these two screws holding the motor, because if you can see, you've got a lot of length there for that motor. We are probably going to put some sort of rear support on the motor here, perhaps do something 3D printed, but we'll see. So what I've actually done, I've actually used these mounting holes in the middle here. What I've done, I've made up a little screw with some washers on, so it sits in there and just gives a little bit of extra support. But of course, this is a bit tricky now, because when you put your pinion on, you can't get to these screw points. So I've made a rough note, and basically for the gearing that I've got a 25 pinion. It's almost flush with the top here, so I'm going to put them in almost tight, bolt this in properly, and then pinion on, see how it meshes. So we've got the motor in. I couldn't actually use that top bolt in because I needed to move up slightly higher to get the right mesh, so we've only got 3 bolts holding the motor in, but we'll see how that goes. Don't know if you can see how I have done the mesh. If you see it, there's just a small amount of play. You can hear it more than feel it, but you can feel it as well. So that's how you want to mesh your motor. Spend time getting your motor mesh right. It's a bit tricky because you have to take the pinion off to tighten the motor bolts up. So you've got to play around, get it set right, and then put your pinion on. You've got 2 grub screws. Make sure you flatten the one that goes onto the flat of the motor shaft first. Thread lock them in. I actually haven't thread locked them in because I may want to take this off again. I'm not too worried when we first run, as if this pinion does come loose. We're only going to do a few very short test runs. So my Speedo ain't going to fit in there, is it? Couldn't even get the original one there if I wanted to. There's the original. There's the new one. Fair bit bigger, isn't it? So what I think I'm going to do, what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to put all this bracketry back on and then see what space I've got and then go from there. So problem number 1, getting this bit back on because this motor's higher, longer, bigger. This bit's in the way, so we're going to have to cut it out. So we've got this back on, we cut these off, had to pretty much cut them off all the way. I haven't put all these bits back in because I'm not sure whether, well, we might have to take them off again anyway. And if you didn't know, a handy little tip here, Traxxas do actually put where these bits go because all 4 of them are different. So this is the left front, so it goes in there. So when you're putting it back together, get it around the right way, it would go in there like that. Now where are we going to put this Speedo? Well, obviously the obvious place is just to mount it on top there like that. I don't really like it all the way up there because it's not particularly well protected, and well, it's high up, isn't it? You've got a fair amount of weight high up. So I've got an idea. If we move out our radio tray, now we don't run ours in any wet conditions, so I wouldn't mind having where I put this. The Speedo does actually fit in there like that. So we've got our radio, so we've got our 3D printed servo mount plate there. So I'm thinking we might be able to lengthen that somehow and perhaps put it in there like that, and then have some sort of concoction on the front here for the radio tray. Well, watch on. The next part of this video will probably be a little bit later, but we will 3D print some. We'll have a look, see what we can design up and see if we can 3D print something for that. So guys, this is what we have arrived at. It's a bit of a hybrid at the moment. What we'll probably do is we'll combine these 2 plates into one. This is our 5th scale servo upgrade plate. We'll put this one on here just to see proof of concept more than anything else. It has a joint motor support. So when we put our motor in, like so, if you can see, it actually has some rear support on the motor. Be interesting to see how hot that gets, because obviously this is only 3D printed, so it'll take a reasonable amount of heat. But as this is the 800 kV motor, we shouldn't be getting too hot, and we are going to put some fans on it. Receiver's under there. Well, the receiver's not under there yet. That's the next step. I'm going to take this back off and put the receiver under there, and we can hopefully get it all nearly working in a minute. Right, so we've got the plate in there, if you can see. It's a bit Heath Robinson, the cable tie wiring. We've got the motor on, but we're just going to give it a run just to check it all works. We'll cover the programming and setting up of the ESC in another video. We're just going to see if it falls to bits, if it works. Let's see what happens. Right, first go. We have just noticed a problem with the batteries, with the connector we put on there. 3-cell Traxxas connectors, not 4-cell, so we had to use a slight connector there. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Stand back. It's working. put the shell on. So we haven't played with the actual settings on speed control. It works. There really isn't enough space around here. It has got monster amounts of horsepower now, so we're going to try it where there's a bit more space. Right, a bit more space here now, guys. Let's see what it does. What about the brakes?
Full brakes? Full brakes is too much brakes.
Yeah. Pinion's come off.
What's happened there then?
Well, we don't think much to that pinion, do we?
Doesn't look like it's steel.
Doesn't. It looks like total crap, really, doesn't it? Oh well. It works. Pretty quick.
Truck works. Ah. Anything else you want to say?
It's good speed though. Crap pinion.
Hmm.
So, well, it was short, but it works. We can tidy up the wiring and just sort the pinion and that out, and I think we'll be there. But good upgrade. Xmaxx, definitely a good upgrade. So, click on the subscribe button. Back again soon with proper running with Max 5.